Previously, when Lewellyn was dancing with Commander Tristan like a couple, the displeased audience gossiped that Lewellyn had forgotten her dignity as she was playing with the hearts of Duke Almondite and Commander Tristan at the same time. Feeling humiliated, she went to the dining table where she met Elodie, a teen girl with whom she chat long like an older sister. However, the girl suddenly collapsed on the floor and eventually died, spitting up a lot of blood. Witnessing this, the enraged Queen Pamela, with any proof, accused Lewellyn of the girl's murder. In her defense, Lewellyn tried to prove her innocence and declared that she would conduct an investigation under her authority. Upon hearing this, Lewellyn's former friend, Lewellyn, entered the scene, asking if she would take responsibility if the investigation proved to be a misunderstanding, as Lewellyn's actions would enrage her enemies even further. So, let's dive into the parts 88 and 89 of the manhwa, The Secret Bedroom of the Forsaken Princess. Listening to Lewellyn's comments, Brian starts clapping, asking what responsibility she's talking about, because Lewellyn has crossed the line by interfering in royal affairs countless times. Brian affirms Lewellyn's words, mentioning that since Lewellyn caused a riot, she must face the consequences. Hearing this, Lewellyn angrily gazes at Lewellyn, wondering what she is thinking. She then expresses that she'll apologize to the king and the queen if the investigation turns out to be her misunderstanding. With a sinister smile, Lewellyn asks if that's the best Lewellyn can do or if she's just spitting more nonsense. Enraged, Lewellyn questions what Lewellyn wants her to do, asking if she wants her to kneel before the king for forgiveness. Hearing this, the nobility starts gossiping, wondering how the Golden Raven of the Empire could face humiliation by kneeling. With an ambiguous smirk, Lewellyn suggests Pamela remember Lewellyn's words, that if she can't prove anything in 10 days, she will kneel before the nobles for forgiveness. Enjoying Lewellyn's situation, Pamela declares that she'll punish Lewellyn fairly, not as a mother, but as the Queen of Brygen. To this, Lewellyn informs her that she is ready to accept the challenge. Hence, she wants full control of the Red Knights for the next 10 days. When Lewellyn asks if Tristan will give his loyalty to her, he assures her, saying, "Leave everything to me." Observing the new confidence in Lewellyn's eyes, Lewellyn smiles, and in a changed tone, she wishes Lewellyn good luck. After this, Lewellyn quickly leaves the banquet hall. Sensing Lewellyn's changed behavior, Lewellyn wonders what she is trying to do. However, she knows she must endure the humiliation until she finds the culprits. From here, the scene shifts to Pamela's chamber, where Pamela is amused while reading yesterday's newspaper. Arriving inside, Pamela's messer asks why she's laughing so loudly. Pamela informs him that yesterday's fuss is highlighted in the newspaper. Smiling, the messer asks if it's about the stupid Princess Lewellyn, and mentions it's a pity to know that a low-level noble girl died yesterday. Pamela callously expresses that she doesn't care about the girl's death. Historically, noble women and girls have had no place in royal society, so the royal family must not pay attention to these trivial matters. Approaching from behind, the messer declares that Her Highness is absolutely right. Calling her attendant, Pamela orders her to inform the nobles to prevent giving any info to Lewellyn about the murders. Enjoying the massage, Pamela expresses that she can't wait to see Lewellyn kneeling before her, pleading for her life. Laughing maniacally, she mentions that she will send Lewellyn to her dead mother. Meanwhile, in one of Brygen's towns, the scared nobles turn Lewellyn away, stating they can't tell her anything. Annoyed, Lewellyn insists she needs to know every detail about their daughter's death. Shouting, the noble declares that his daughter died of illness, so they don't need an investigation for a natural death. After getting the same answer from a third noble family, Dane confirms that it must be the queen's work. With a long sigh, Lewellyn conveys that she will simply apologize if they find nothing. Hearing this, Dane reflects that the royal family is like gods in Brygen, but the way they are treating Princess Lewellyn is completely unacceptable. Suddenly, Lewellyn gloomily expresses that she doesn't care how this will end, but she feels bad for dragging the Red Knights into this. Clenching his teeth, Dane reflects that it's true the princess's dignity has made the Red Knights hated, but it's the royal family's fault for neglecting the safety of innocents in Brygen. Besides, the king is so incompetent he can't control the reckless actions of the queen. Later, in the midnight, Lewellyn sends a letter by pigeon to a person, Lord Rattan, explaining that she needs his help. After a few hours, the pigeon arrives at an unknown house, where a person reads Lewellyn's letter. As he learns of the situation, he clenches the letter in anger. The scene transitions to the next early morning, where Tristan covers the sleeping Lewellyn with a blanket. She wakes up, and he clarifies that the air is cold, so she should cover herself. Putting his concerns aside, she asks if there's any news from Lord Rattan. Tristan informs her that, despite the letter being successfully sent, there's no response from the Lord. With a serious expression, he asks what she's hiding from him. After a brief silence, she reveals that Lord Rattan is her last hope. After this, Lewellyn embarks for the mansion of Elodie's dead parents. Inside the carriage, she reflects that the dead girl's parents are the only evidence she has. But when Lewellyn arrives, the parents plead with her to return to her mansion. Shocked, she asks why they're stepping back. Without making eye contact, the mother expresses that they've decided to bury their daughter in their hearts. Observing their pain in their weeping eyes, Lewellyn orders Dane to investigate everything inside and outside the mansion. Hearing this, the parents question what Lewellyn plans to do. Lewellyn explains that she is not doing this as a subordinate, but as a member of the royal family. She then asks if this is how the parents want to live in noble society, and if they're afraid the queen will retaliate against them. She questions if they can live proudly after turning a blind eye to their daughter's death. Maintaining his composure, the father inquires what will happen if the queen gets angry and punishes them. In a loud voice, Lewellyn asks if they sacrifice their daughter to be proud noble. After this, she commands the soldiers to search the place immediately. As the soldiers enter the mansion in a group, the mother yells that this will cause a scandal, and they won't be able to get away from this. Suddenly, Lewellyn places her hand on the mother's shoulder, assuring her that everything will be all right. When she enters the mansion, the father tries to stop her, but the mother intervenes, suggesting they must raise their voice. Confused, the father states that the princess is just wasting their time. To this, the mother urges him to raise his voice so people will know about their daughter's death. After investigating the mansion, Lewellyn arrives at the balcony, where she tries to calm Asmodeus's stigma with an ice crystal. She reflects that, despite the stigma calming, she still feels an urge for intimacy. However, she just needs to wait a little longer until the case is closed. Suddenly, Commander Tristan arrives quietly from behind, asking if she's alright, as she's blushing heavily. Shocked, she quickly hides the ice crystal behind her back. She hides her face and explains that she was feeling down, so she came to take in the fresh breeze. Feeling gloomy, he wonders if it's because of yesterday's rumors circulating around Brigent. He ponders that Elodie's autopsy results will be available soon, and if the reports are normal, Lewellyn will become the laughingstock of Brigent. Besides, he doesn't understand why this always happens to his vulnerable princess. Extending his hand, Tristan asks Lewellyn to walk along the beach together. The scene then transitions to the beach side, where Tristan gives Lewellyn a horse ride on the crystal glowing waves. Confused, she wonders what it means to take a horse ride on water. She asks why he brought her for a horse ride together. He explains that he wanted to take a horse ride with her alone. Suddenly, Tristan hands over control of the horse to Lewellyn. Holding it tightly, she wonders if he knows that she can ride a horse. After a brief silence, he boldly asks if she feels uncomfortable riding with him. Blushing, she complains that she can actually feel his breath. Feeling hot, she reflects that the demon Asmodeus must be pleased knowing her situation. Sweating, she mentions that the horse must be tired, so they should dismount. To this, he informs her that his horse is trained by the Zakat tribe, so it can carry 2 people. Amid this, the horse begins to pant, and she wonders if it's really okay. Unable to maintain her composure, she tells him she wants to go alone. She reflects that his body radiates too much heat. In an instant, he grabs her by the waist and urges his horse to run at full speed. As a result, Lewellyn's head crashes against Tristan's chest. Annoyed, she asks why he did that so suddenly. Focusing on the ride, he insists she look ahead. When she turns in the indicated direction, she is stunned by the sight of the crystal-like waves touching the sand under the moonlight. Mesmerized by the scenery, she softly says it's so beautiful. Feeling the ocean's cool mist on her cheek, she murmurs that it's very cold. Noticing her reaction, Tristan asks if her body has cooled down. Blushing, she wonders how he knew that. After sharing an unforgettable ride with Lewellyn, Tristan reassures her they will soon find the real culprit. He emphasizes that the Red Knights are working hard, and everything will be all right. As he helps her down from the horse, she reflects on how different her life might have been if Tristan had been by her side when her mother died years ago. She wonders if meeting him back then would have made her feel a little less alone. Leaning into Tristan's strong arms, Lewellyn rests her head against his warm chest. Feeling comforted by his warmth, she thanks him for bringing her to this place. Before he can respond, she rubs her head gently against his cheek. With a soft, grateful kiss, she admits that she really needed someone by her side at this moment. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.